It's week 3 of the National Football League, and the wait is over for this rivalry game. It's the Chargers and the Broncos on Monday night.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL has us at the foot of the Rockies, just west of downtown Denver at Empower Field at Mile High. Just a short time ago, sounds loud enough to reverberate across the Rockies. They're ready for football in Denver as the Broncos get set to do battle with the Los Angeles Chargers. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And hello again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside. It's the first weekend of autumn, and the NFL is in full swing as off we go on EA Sports. Taken at the goal line. And he will make it back to the 15, and that's it. Good coverage there by the kick team. So here are the Broncos now for their opening drive. They'll be taken out by the product of the University of Louisville, the talented Teddy Bridgewater.
And I saw that he had an interesting quote in the research packet that we had after last week's game. It's all on me now. I've got to lead my team and find a way for us to win a game. 0-2, but they're at home. I guess he's going to try and find a way to get the home crowd involved early.
They run for the first time with Javonte Williams. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. Second down. The numbers for Williams a week ago: 8 carries, 100 yards on the nose, and a score.
I can't remember the last time we did a game and the coach didn't talk about establishing the run first. But they've lost 2 straight games, so they still want to do that, but they've got to have some contingencies, some other options. Expect them maybe to throw it a little bit to open up things and maybe run it a little bit more later in the game.
And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy's setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and putting the defense back on its heels.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. To throw, Bridgewater. This one complete to Jerry Jeudy. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. Now a first down carry, it's Williams. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. To throw is Bridgewater. Looking sideline, incomplete. So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Now Bridgewater. They'll set up the screen. This is Williams. And he's going to be taken down right at the line. Good contain, no gain on the screen, and it'll bring up 4th down. So, Charles, first drive here, a little safe completion underneath, maybe get some rhythm, get your feet wet, so to speak.
I agree, and I like it because it's a lot like a basketball game when you're getting started and you pass the ball around so everyone touches it early and gets involved in the game. In this case, it's not just dumping it to a back and he's able to run with the ball, but you get your offensive linemen involved because they get to get out and run and hit people in the open field. Everyone getting their feet wet early.
And a nice job here on special teams. This will be down inside the 10 at the 8-yard line. Here are the Chargers ready to go on offense, led by their first-round pick in 2020. The man out of Oregon, Justin Herbert.
And I think if you're handing out hardware through 2 weeks of the season, he might be your MVP. Already 7 touchdown passes in just 2 games. As we do know, though, in real life, they don't hand you out anything this early. A lot of games left to get through between now and the playoffs.
A beautiful fake. Still fighting for more. And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. He was tackled at the 27-yard line.
That was good, tough running right up the middle. And if the defense can't penetrate and make him slow his pace or change direction, that's often the end result.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Herbert. And the Broncos get there and take him down. Draymond Jones. Credit him with a sack as he buries him for a loss of 10.
Well, here's what happened with Brody. Sometimes can work against you as a quarterback. He thinks he can retreat and outrun the pressure. But that time, they zeroed in on him and took him down for a big loss, partner.
A really big loss. The job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. Herbert will give this one to Eckler. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. Now, after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. We'll step aside and get a report when we come back to Denver. So now 3rd and 10. A big play to start the drive, but nothing since. Herbert. And that will be incomplete.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
A 41-yard punt there with no return. And the Broncos take over. 1st down and 10. So now the second drive offensively coming up for the Denver Broncos. Early on, you know, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game. But I think when it comes within your division like this, it's a measuring stick game with a little extra intrigue.
I would agree with that totally because all division games have a little...
And down he goes. The pressure getting to Bridgewater. Uchenna Nwosu in there to bury him for a loss of 11.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes, and just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, the quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Here's Bridgewater. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. But it looked like, fortunately, the Broncos able to recover. Dangerous spot for them to cough it up. Lucky to have recovered because had the defense gotten it, they were already within a shadow of the goalpost.
And you're yelling at your own defense. Sudden change, sudden change. That's not what you want to hear on your sideline. That means you've got to run out there and try and stop an offense who has the ball in a very advantageous position.
After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
This is the tight end Fant. And out of bounds across the 15-yard line. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
Well, the good thing about covering any game I do with you is I know that there's no problem with rhythm. Now, what we're watching offensively, a little bit of a problem there.
Yeah, punt on the first drive, looking at another one here. Just a little slow. And, you know, they were talking about a fast start, but that hasn't been the case.
Yeah, and let's face it, any team we cover always talks about a fast start.
That's true.
But it's not necessarily going to happen just because they say so. And whether it's the script, whether it's, you know, just what they're going through, whether they're seeing different defenses, they're going to have to figure it out as this game moves on.
So possession goes over here on the punt. And it'll be Charger football here as they take over. The Chargers get set to go here for their second drive. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
The numbers for him from a week ago: 24 carries, 90 yards.
And I'm eager to see how they deploy him in this game. Last week, a heavy workload. Do they decide to bring that down a little bit and try and keep him fresh? Or do they say, guess what? He's locked in. Keep handing him the football.
Here's a throw to his running back. It's complete. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. And worth pointing out, after that last completion, that puts this young quarterback over 10,000 yards passing for his career. And fair to say, he's not done yet.
No doubt about it. He's really just getting started because he's not quite into the prime of his career. So it's likely he's going to hit a few more of these milestones as this career progresses. So let's face it, we'll acknowledge this number and we'll celebrate the milestones down the road.
So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory at the 43. Back to throw here, Herbert. Going back to Allen, he's got him again. They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down. Out of the gun, Eckler running it. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. Now they're going to be dealing with a 3rd and 7. Is that one officially a loss of 1?
Have to give credit for a nice play there, but also have to look at it as a blown assignment. He became a free runner that turned into a free hitter.
The line to gain is the 33 on 3rd down. A shotgun snap for Herbert. He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack. Bradley Chubb drops him for a loss of 12, and it also brings up 4th down. Well, last game he had 2 sacks. Got another one here picked up right where he left off.
Brandon, he spent the entire offseason working on new moves, new techniques, trying to add to his arsenal of pass rush moves. Certainly paying dividends in what we've seen so far.
On is the Chargers punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. Yikes. Terrible kick headed straight for the sidelines. The football going back over to the Denver Broncos. We've seen both of these offenses still sort of in that figuring things out phase, but I suspect some action on the scoreboard soon as they start out here 1st and 10. Out of the gun, Bridgewater. And that's going to be incomplete.
No sense risking anything there on 1st down. Even though he's still in the pocket, he had a receiver out to his side, so just put that in a spot where the only people who can make a play on it are the trainers and the coaches. Well done.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Bridgewater gives to Williams here on the draw. And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
And force the incompletion on 1st down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in the expected passing situation.
It's Williams on the catch. And he will get this to the midfield stripe, but that's not going to be enough. He's a few yards short. A gain of 8 there on the play. And that's going to bring up a 4th down.
A short gain that doesn't get him the 1st down brings up a 4th down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it. Here's Sam Martin now. He'll boot it away from about his 35. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And this will be up to the ruling of the side judge here. He says it crossed out of bounds at the 16-yard line. L.A. readies for its next possession. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum?
On 2nd and 9, Herbert. Throwing left side, he's got Gronk, complete. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. And now hang on here, I believe, yeah, that is Justin Herbert, the young quarterback, still down. We'll step aside and get a report when we come back to Denver. Heavy set out there on 3rd and 1. They'll try to pick up the first with Eckler. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. 43 yards rushing for him now on just 6 carries to this point. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards, but also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Going on the ground with Eckler. And he'll get this up to about the 40. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. We're scoreless after 1. Charger football to start quarter number 2 as they are looking at a 2nd and 5 situation. They'll run out of the gun with Eckler, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. A loss on that play, and now 3rd down gets tougher, 3rd and 6.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative, but you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up, because otherwise this defense is going to gang up on the run and set them down.
The Chargers on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. And now a first chance for the backup here to throw. He's going to look for Allen now on the deep ball. And able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule him out of bounds. So it'll be incomplete, certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up 4th down. Earlier in the quarter when the defense was keying on the run, you said offensively they need to open things up, take some shots downfield. Didn't work there, but they did.
Yeah, I'm not going to change my tune now. I still think it's the right play because when you take those shots downfield, you open the eyes of the defense to what you could do to them, and that may open some things up for you offensively.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. Here's Bridgewater. And his throw is going to be incomplete. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. They'll run out of the gun here. Williams runs over him.
Well, partners, my old man used to say, make sure you strap up tight if you're going to try and stop one of those big horses out there. As you just saw there, this guy does not go down easily.
They stick to the ground game on 1st down. It's Williams. And he'll do a nice job here just to fight his way back to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. From the gun, Bridgewater. Open man. He completes it to Judy. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. Throwing, Bridgewater. Oh, he'll air this one deep for Judy. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And the LA offense ready for this next possession. They've been playing the field position game thus far. No score, second quarter as they come up on 1st and 10. Stick looks to throw. Flush to his right. And he will slide down with the first down for the moment, but a penalty flag on the field. They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Here's Stick looking to throw. He'll get this out wide to Eckler. So the completion good for 7 there. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13.
Defensively, they came into the game with the understanding they're going to have to slow him down on passes just like this because he was over 100 yards receiving a week ago. And you know they want to get him involved here as well.
And it's a leaping effort, but it's knocked away and incomplete.
Early on, the running game's been working well, and the offensive line has been pleased by that. The thought process there, catch those safeties creeping up, trying to help against the running game. They tried to hit them over the top, unsuccessfully.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Dancing to his left. And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. On is the Chargers punter now, as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. They'll send this away to the Rocky Mountain Night, and it's a good one. That'll be a 41-yard punt, just 1 yard on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And Denver getting set to take the field. Now, if you're a fan of punting, and I know that not many people are, but this game kind of turning into one for you.
Well, it's okay if it's a skills contest, right? We're really into it then, but not during the course of an actual game. This has turned into a field position game, though. Sometimes a better punter may actually determine the outcome.
And showcasing those strong legs on that run, getting through 1 tackle. Now she winds up getting 8 there. On 2nd and a couple, Bridgewater, and his throw here's incomplete. The Broncos on 3rd down, not good, 0 for 4 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38.
And they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Bridgewater. He's got his 6'5" receiver. That's Tim Patrick. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6. On 2nd down, Williams. And he's going to take this one up only to about the 44-yard line. The Broncos on 3rd down, just 1 for 5 to this point. Here it's 3rd and 3. Bridgewater now. He's got it to Williams. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon. It looks like they're going to utilize him out the backfield any way they can. At that time, they pick up a 1st down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going?
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now a 10th carry. Here's Williams. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. From the gun, it's a run for Williams. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. Bridgewater to throw it. And tight coverage there. It's knocked away, incomplete. And he missed it. It's no good, and this will remain a scoreless game.
Always disappointing when you miss a field goal, but when you're playing against a defense this good, you and I both know that's a crucial miss because you can't afford to leave any points out there. You've got to take them when you can.
The Chargers offense now, they get set to head back on the field. And 3 and out on the last drive. No points on the scoreboard. A little soul-searching now?
I would say so, and they need to help out their defense a little bit. They've had to be on the field a lot more than normal, put them in some tough spots. But what's the old adage? When you get another chance, it gives you a better chance to do it right.
This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. Now Stick. And the Broncos get there and take him down. Draymond Jones, his 2nd sack of the night. So, Charles, no turnovers yet for this offense, but those sacks now, they're starting to pile up.
And one thing usually leads to another because they've got to figure out how the offensive line and everyone else involved in protection can keep their quarterback upright and allow him a chance to throw the ball downfield.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Another try after the first down sack. Stick on the screen. This is Eckler. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. They'll wind up losing 3 here on the play. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. Two minutes on the clock in what's been a scoreless first half. A reminder coming up just a few minutes from now. We'll send you to Jonathan Coachman and our crew in Orlando. Coach will have a look back at some of the stats and scores from yesterday's action. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. On is the Chargers punter now, as he'll come on for his 5th kick of the night. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And did he put that on a dime? He did. Wow. Out of bounds at the 1-yard line.
Well, he's certainly not going to see a better punt than that. Definitely taking a chance because if that thing clips the pylon, it comes out to the 20. But instead, it goes out of bounds at the 1-yard line.
Javonte Williams and the rest of the Bronco offense back out onto the field. And no doubt he's come out of the gate strong. Only in week 3, and you see the numbers thus far.
And we always talk about identity, setting a tone, you know, getting the groundwork laid for the season or for a game. And that's what they've done with the running game so far. It reminds me of when I first went to the University of Tennessee. And believe it or not, I was a quarterback for a day and a half. And the first practice session, the first play we ran was 28 pitch, which is a toss sweep. And I remember the offense coordinator saying, that's our identity. That's our bread and butter. That's the basis of our offense. We got to get that down right here, right now. And I think we're seeing some of that in this running game here.
So did you not get that down, and that's why you were moved to the defense, or what?
I don't know for that reason, but I do know I saw a couple of guys throw, and immediately they were saying, you know, you need to learn how to backpedal.
Hey, you turn into a heck of a DB, though, partner. Here's Sam Martin now, as he's on to punt for Denver. 40 yards on the punt, 2 on the return. And this offense will take over right at the midfield stripe with a 1st and 10. The Broncos defense getting ready to go. And they have been disruptive in the backfield. How often when we see this, as we look at some of these highlights, is it just better players getting in there versus scheme that is defeating the offense?
It's a great question, and I think oftentimes we rely on scheme. We fall back and say, well, the scheme broke down rather than giving credit to the players making plays. But when the scheme does break down, you're looking at oftentimes just being overloaded. Too many guys coming from one side or one particular area, then you can actually block them. You know, if there's 2 guys there to block them, they'll bring 3, and that 3rd guy will get through. So when you want to max protect there, meaning getting everyone in, your whole offensive line, your tight end and your running backs, trying to make sure that you're never outnumbered by the defensive guys coming in.
Could we get a touchdown in this first half after all? It's 1st and 10. Stick back to pass. And he rifles one incomplete. Here's 2nd and 10. Stick from the gun. He's going to go up top for the end zone. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. So now 3rd and 10. A big play to start the drive, but nothing since. A shotgun throw for Stick. Going for it all. And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete.
They've had multiple opportunities on offense and still haven't scored any points. Felt like they wanted to loosen things up, throw it downfield, and see if maybe they could get a big play and a quick strike.
And Lutz puts this one through. And we have action on the scoreboard just before halftime. It's 3-0. So a good kick there, and they put the bow tie on it with 3 points.
And let's face it, everybody wants a touchdown. We know that. But in the NFL, defenses are awfully good. You're not going to score each and every time. Be able to knock the ball through the post and take the throw.
By the way, I said bow tie. I meant just ball.
Either
not the tie, but yeah.
Either way.
You got it.
I just went right past it.
Teddy Bridgewater and the Broncos ready to go on offense. I think this crowd not really sure what to make of things. Their guys have not looked very good. Their leader here at the top, he hasn't looked that great either.
And most of the time you hear guys talk about how they don't let the crowd affect them or they block it off. Well, that's not really fully true because a lot of the times you ride the wave of emotion with a crowd when it's positive for you. In this case, they've got to find a way to shake it off and at least get something done to maybe put the crowd back on their side.
Absolutely. Give these guys something to cheer about. So we have reached halftime intermission with the visiting Chargers on top. As now we send you out to Orlando and hook back up with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome in, everyone, to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Let's get you caught up on what's going on around the NFL. We'll start up at TIAA Stadium in Jacksonville, where it was definitely a game with some intrigue, as you can see by the scoreline. The Jaguars get back over 500 as they win their second in 3 tries. Next, we head off to check out another game, and it was the visiting LA Rams who get the victory in that one. Cam Akers, 2 touchdown runs to lead the way. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter. With that, we take a look at the next-gen stats for the Chargers in that first half. And they've had some success on the ground. And with the lead going into the second half, they'll no doubt be looking to keep it going. Meanwhile, for the Broncos, we take a look there at the numbers for them running the football in that first half.
All right, Coach, thanks. Yeah, both teams likely to make some changes in what's been a closely fought battle to this point. And the half will begin with a touchback.
Play to win. Let's go.
So here are the Chargers to take over. They've won 2 straight, and they lead this one as well as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Wolf. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
And what a nice example there of a tight end doing exactly what he needs to do. How about how he worked his way to the outside, made sure he secured the catch, and then anything after that, we count that as a bonus. And indeed, he gets enough for the first down.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Back to throw. And that one off the mark behind him. Incomplete. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. He'll look to throw. And he slings one that's incomplete.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
An important play right here, 3rd and 10.
And I would expect pressure here.
He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack. Bradley Chubb able to drop him that time for his 2nd sack of the evening. So that time, Charles, quarterback helpless really in the pocket in the face of a pass rush like that. They were on him instantly.
And this came from the edge, and those pass rushers, they have so many tricks of the trade to get around blockers. They have a lot of tools in their kit. This was pure speed and athleticism on this play, though, and they could barely get a glove on him before he got the quarterback on the ground.
It'll be 37 yards there on the punt, and out will come the offense as they take over. So now a look at the Broncos as they head back out there for their first possession of the 2nd half. And their defense did its job by forcing the punt to start things out, and now, Charles, can the offense get in gear?
I think, partner, you can sense them saying, okay, the first half was theirs, but now let's get the momentum back on our side. We forced.
And down he goes. The pressure getting to Bridgewater. Joey Bosa, his 2nd sack of the night. He found his way into the backfield, and he simply would not be denied.
Well, they say that life's all about opportunities, and that holds true when you're playing defense as well. How about him seeing that chance, making the most of it, did a great job of wrapping him up and bringing him down.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. From the shotgun, it's Bridgewater. Open man here, Sims complete. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down. Now Bridgewater. And that is incomplete. Here's Sam Martin now, as he'll come on to kick for a 6th time tonight. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And this one goes angling out of bounds, and it will be spotted inside the 30-yard line. The Chargers ready to take over. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old-school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is, can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. Stick looking to throw on 1st and 10. In trouble, and he's taken down. William Golston in there to bury him for a loss of 11. I thought there at the end he may have had a chance to release that, but that pocket closed a little too quickly, and down he went.
Yeah, he was certainly trying to do everything he could to extend the life of the play, probably counting in his head 1, 2, and then he ran out of time.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. Another try after the 1st down sack. Stick. And to the right side here, it's Allen.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Escaping the pressure right. And he can only manage to take the football to the 40, and that is well shy of the 1st down marker. He opted to go with a scramble, gets 2 yards, and now it's 4th.
Well, there were a couple of extra defensive backs in the game, so he really had nowhere to go with the football despite his search for an open receiver. So he has to take off and run for it, but he comes up well short of the line to gain.
On is the Chargers punter now, as he'll come on to kick this one away. the Broncos offensive unit ready to head back out onto the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
On second down, it's Williams. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
Every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. 66 yards on the ground for him now as he's done that on 15 carries.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. The busy night continues for Williams. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
Nothing in that first half, nothing on the last drive, but they're moving now with a 1st and 10. Throwing is Bridgewater. That's caught over the middle by Fant. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40.
Hey, look what we have here. A sustained drive, and that was certainly A-Rob in the first half. They really struggled to try and move the football. But right now, they certainly seem to have the formula working. Let's see if they can keep it up.
On 1st down, it's Williams, and he'll snag about 5 yards down to the 32. The 1st down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Again, it's Williams, and he gets stopped up at the 31 after a gain of maybe a yard. 7th play of the drive now as they come up on a 3rd and 3. Bridgewater. Eluding the pressure, and he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. The D-tackle Sheldon Richardson came barreling in for the sack. That's number 4, sack number 4. They had 4 last week, so he's been down on the ground a lot.
Partner, they say the eye in the sky does not lie. And that's indeed the case because they watched the game tape from the previous week, incorporated it into their own defensive scheme, and continued to get after this quarterback.
And now this defense will be searching for sack number 5. And he's gonna miss this one. Wide to the left from distance. It's no good, and this score will stay right where it is. Down here in the 3rd quarter, obviously that's one they could have used.
Yeah, and one of my favorite special teams coaches in the NFL told me what separates the kickers in the NFL versus the ones who are not is not the misses. It's the 2nd miss in a row. Best kickers in the league, they don't miss 2 in a row. He's got to get his head back together in case he gets another shot.
Now they're set up nicely at the 45-yard line after the missed field goal from 55. Here's Eckler to begin the drive. And he's got it across midfield and into Denver territory. 8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. Once more, here's Eckler, able to power through, and he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. Running on 1st down, Eckler, and he's able to carve out about 6 there, down to the 37. 4 yards remain for 2nd down. The handoff, it's Eckler. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1. On 3rd down, here's Eckler.
you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
One quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Welcome back now to Denver. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the fourth quarter. Here's Stick on 1st and 10. It's complete. He's got Gronk. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Finally, a first red zone opportunity for these guys. 1st and 10 at the 19. On the give, this is Eckler. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Calling no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. As we get late in this one, is altitude a factor for a visiting team in Denver? Is that something that's overplayed?
No, it's real. And I know a lot of the visiting teams like to downplay it because they don't want to get into the heads of their players. But you can't avoid it. As soon as you get to the locker room, you get to the stadium, they always post it in there. Welcome to Denver. Altitude 5,280 feet. The air is rare.
And the Chargers are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
I think there's a fatigue factor that's kicking in defensively. You know the will is still strong. I think the offense is starting to bend it just a little bit, don't you?
Yeah, absolutely. It's looked that way. We'll see if they can continue this already strong drive. So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And he's going to go down. Sacked right around the 17. Barreling in for the sack, Shelby Harris. I don't know what else can be said about this pass rush. They have been sensational. CD, that is now 6 sacks for them.
And how many times do we talk to offensive coordinators and they say a sack is a result of everyone on offense not doing their job? But let's be honest about this one. This is the offensive line unable to counter the pass rush. They've been teeing off all game long.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. They'll run here with Eckler. And he'll take it from the 18 to the 15, a gain of 3. This defense has not surrendered a touchdown yet. You better believe they're determined not to here on 3rd and goal. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. They got 8 yards out of it, but they're still left with a 4th and goal from a ways out. This defense continues to be good on 3rd down. I mean, they haven't allowed a touchdown offensively. Are you saying, let's go for this, let's try to get it in the end zone?
I don't know about that because of what you just described. They've been so good, and they don't give up the big play that you would expect in downs 1 through 3. Why should 4th down be any different? True. You might want to go ahead and kick the field goal and see if you can figure out something else as this game moves on.
And Lutz's kick is good. And that will double their lead as it's up to 6. So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. And Sims says, let's bring it out to the 25. Denver's offense ready to go again. I tell you what, it's kind of hard to imagine. They have not scored a single point, and yet they're in this position, a touchdown drive here, and they're in the lead.
Normally, when you have 0 on your side of the ledger on the scoreboard, you're a little bit discouraged. But when they look over and see their opponents, they don't see a number that's way out there. They don't see a number they can't attain. In fact, they can get it right here on this drive and potentially take the lead.
107 yards on the ground for him now as he's gotten better, really, as the night's gone on.
Well, that last run makes this a 100-yard night. I've loved the way he's hit the holes. He's been quick. He's been decisive. and he's been a whole lot of fun to watch.
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. Williams. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up second and 11.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. Looking at a second and 11 now after the loss. Here's Bridgewater. Incomplete.
We've got to give out a little applause on that play. It has to go to the defense. More good work by them. They've taken away the passing lanes all game long, and you can see the frustration that it's causing because he just about threw that one into the first row.
That's going to bring up fourth down, only a gain of 2 there. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Here's Sam Martin now as he's on to punt for Denver. He'll get off a fairly short kick here as this is toward the sideline. And this is going to work out well as it's out of bounds near the 13-yard line. The Chargers offense back out and ready to go. They have the lead, obviously, late in the game. I guess the good news for them is if for some reason they would make a mistake, a field goal does the opposition no good.
Everyone loves to have a little bit of a cushion, and that helps you immeasurably. But the bottom line is, do all the things that you're taught in order to close out the game. Don't even let that become an issue.
Yeah, but still a one-possession game. This one not fully over yet. On second down, Eckler fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21. With a heavy set out there, 3 tight ends in the formation for 3rd and 3. It's Eckler again. And Eckler will not get there. Great defense at the point of attack, going to stop him short of the first down. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave him with a 4th down.
You know, we might start getting some props here in the booth. You know that one that says the D and then the fence that you put up next to it? How about that? They brought out the jumbo package and still couldn't move them off the line of scrimmage enough to pick up that first down.
Impressive. They were ready defensively for that jumbo set. On is the Chargers punter now, as he's on here to punt it away. Fair catch signaled for and taken just shy of the 30-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Broncos take over, 1st down and 10. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. Their defense accomplished step 1 of the mission. They forced the punt. Now they'll look to erase that deficit and take a 4th quarter lead. Bridgewater's throw into the hands of Fant. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
I got the sense that the defense created a little momentum for them there, didn't they?
Did their job, forced the punt. Now, nice start to the drive. Offense has to do their part.
Yeah, they certainly do, but what a great start for them. They've got to go thank the guys on D.
Bridgewater gives to Williams here on the draw. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. 115 yards rushing for him now as he's toted it 21 times.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. They'll run it with Williams. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3. Now after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. We'll step aside and get a report when we come back to Denver. Second and 7. A give to Williams, running right.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game, and while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
The frustration evident there because he couldn't find anyone on third down, and he left no doubt that he was throwing that one away.
Here's Sam Martin now as he's on to punt for Denver. This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds. Austin Ekeler and the Charger offense reclaim center stage. And we have seen a decline in the numbers. Where does the fault lie? Just him? Maybe the guys up front? Combination?
Well, as you and I both know, it's almost always a collective deal. But in this case, I think maybe the offensive line got a little overconfident. They had blocked so well in the first half, picked up on what the defense was doing. I think we've seen an adjustment now that they have not picked up on, and now they're being a little bit overwhelmed.
And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a first down. Out of the gun, Ekeler running it. Oh, look at the juke. And he's going to have a first down on a gain of about 10, and that'll take us to the 2-minute warning. So it's Charger football as we welcome you back from the 2-minute warning. They've got a first and 10 as they look to try and finish this one off. Now Ekeler. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And now with 1:52 to go, we get another pause in the action. A timeout here defensively. A nickel set defensively for the Broncos here on third down. They'll try to pick up the first with Ekeler. Oh, what a move. And he is going to have the first down, and that is going to suck the life right out of this crowd. Now the Broncos will use their third and final timeout, and they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. And they will take a knee here. They'll run out of the gun with Ekeler. He gets them a little over half of what they needed. Now they're looking at a 3rd and 5. Victory formation time for the Chargers. They take a knee. And they cannot do anything to stop the clock defensively. 3 straight wins to start the campaign now.
And this is where a team privately, within the confines of their own room, their meeting rooms, the locker room, they start to think to themselves, we're pretty good. We should be a playoff team.
So this one's over. It's in the win column for the L.A. Chargers. And not all W's are created equal, CD, and this one came in shutout fashion.
Well, their offense certainly didn't need to do anything, right? They could take the day off, and they did. But the defense, they carried them in a big way.
Yeah, look, the offense, obviously stuff to work on. But they did enough, and the defense carried the load.
Well, you know what they say. It's always fun to work on things. If it didn't go well in your game, with a victory in your pocket. And that's what they've got going forward.
So, for the Chargers, It's an ideal start as they move to 3-0 now on the young season. And they'll get another road date next week as their opponents will be the Seattle Seahawks. Meanwhile, for Denver, the early struggles continue as they'll sink to 0-3. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week.